and welcome to the Cold War series. We're going to talk about Franco, who lived from 1892 until 1975. So let's get started. So, let's talk about the man. He was dictator of Spain from 1939 until his death in 1975. He came to power at the end of the Spanish Civil War, which lasted from 1936 until 1939. In that war, he led the rebel nationalist army to victory over the Republican forces. And after the war ended in 1939, Franco had complete control of Spain. His regime was similar to a fascist dictatorship. He carried out the functions of chief of state, prime minister, commander-in-chief, and leader of the Falange Española, the only political party permitted. He adopted the title of El Caudillo, the leader. In the early years of his regime, Franco tried to eliminate all opposition. He later eased restrictions. And look at this quote, taken from Wikipedia. During the Cold War, Franco appeared as one of the world's foremost anti-communist figures. Consequently, his regime was assisted by the United States and asked to join the United Nations and come under NATO's protection. But there's more. The Western powers became more friendly toward Franco during the Cold War with the Soviet Union because he was against communism. In 1953, Franco signed an agreement with the United States. He permitted the United States to build air and naval bases in Spain in exchange for economic and military aid. This aid helped bring about industrial expansion. Spain's living standard rose dramatically during the 1960s. By the mid-1970s, Spain had become a relatively modern, industrialized country. In the early 1960s, opposition to Franco became more outspoken. Miners and other workers went on strike, though strikes were illegal. Opposition groups organized in secret. Franco relaxed police controls and economic restrictions somewhat. In 1966, strict press censorship was relaxed. Franco declared in 1947 that Spain would be ruled by a king after he left office. In 1969, Franco named Prince Juan Carlos to be king and head of state after Franco's death or retirement. Juan Carlos is the grandson of King Alfonso XIII, who left Spain in 1931. Franco died on November 20th, 1975, and Juan Carlos became king. So that was all for Franco. Thank you for listening.